Hello everyone, in this particular video we are going to talk about how we can install Jenkins on Ubuntu 16 machine. Okay, so in the earlier video we already talked like what all the requirements we need to have to set up the Jenkins, right? Because if you remember, in the last video we just talked about the requirement, and in this particular video we are going to start installing it on the some of the operating system, right? So here if you see operating system version, so Jenkins can be installed on any of them this machine, right? Whether it is Windows, Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat, Fedora. Okay, so it supports lot of operating systems, but in this particular video what we are going to do is we are going to install it on the Ubuntu machine. Okay, so now let's see one by one how we can do this. So I'm just opening one blog where what we can do is, so I'm just typing how to install Jenkins on Ubuntu 16.04. This particular machine is a 16.04 machine. So I'm opening this DigitalOcean blog. So here you'll get a lot of step-by-step information how you can start this. Okay, so let's go one by one. So we already talked about the introduction and all. So what is the step one? Step one is we have to add the repository key to the system. Okay, so let's do that. So let me open the command prompt. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll first add this repository key on my system. So I'm just copy pasting the command. It is asking for the password. Okay, so now this apt key got added. So what it is saying, when the key is added, the system will return okay. Next we'll add this Debian package repository address. Okay, so it is returning okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add the Debian package repository address in our machine. Okay, so let me do that. I have to copy this command. Let's go back and add it. So it is adding. Okay, you won't see any output, but it is adding. Now when both are this in place, we'll run update so that apt-get will use the new repository. Okay, so after this we need to run this apt-get update command so that the repository will be updated, and then when we try to install, it will use the latest one. So let me update this. I'm just running command to update. So it's updating. Let's wait for it to get it finished. So it's almost done now, 100%. Okay, so now update is done. So after update, what we need to do is, so if you see, there are some warnings like the target package is configured multiple times in this, but that's fine, you can definitely ignore this for now. Okay, so that is done. Now what we need to do is we need to install it. Okay, so to install it we have this command apt-get install Jenkins. So that is what I am doing. So now I run this command. So it is asking install this package without verification. Yes. So now it has started installing it. Okay, so it will install complete this Jenkins package. Okay, so let's wait couple of minutes so that this installation will be finished. So just now it's 11%. So this Jenkins support lot of platforms or lot of operating system. Depending on your requirement, you can just go to the Google and type how to install this on machine X. So you'll get lot of blogs where you'll get a step-by-step approach how you can install Jenkins on some specific machine. Okay, or even you will get a lot of tools as well that will automate your process of installing Jenkins, and you can very much use all the tools that are available in the market. Okay, so right now I am not using any tool as such. What I am doing is I'm just using the apt-get package manager of the Ubuntu. So first what I'm doing, I'm just updating the repository sources.list, where I'm just adding the path for this Jenkins repository. So once we add that path, first we need to update that repository with the changes that we have done in the sources.list. So that what will happen, as and when we try to install, then it will try to use the latest one. Otherwise, if we don't do apt-get update, in that case it will not update the repository. Even though we are adding it into the repository, it will not pick that up. Okay, so that is the reason what we need to do is we need to do the apt-get update. Okay, so once apt-get update is done, you can just simply run apt-get install Jenkins, and this will start installing the Jenkins on your system. So if you see closely, it is taking a quite little bit of time. Now it's just 16% is done. So let's wait for a couple of more minutes. Maybe it will internally trying to download something. That is the reason it is taking quite a bit of time. And the speed is also adjusted around 1 MB. So if you see at the right hand side, it is saying around 30 seconds left. So after this 30 seconds, I think it will quickly go and install the remaining component of Jenkins. Okay, so if you see, the total disk size that we require is a 66 MB. So that means this complete software is around 66 MB. So that is the reason it is taking a time. But yeah, again now it's going faster. So let's wait for some time, and then once that is done, we'll see what next. So this Jenkins is a very good tool for continuous integration, because as and when developer develops some feature, they can just simply push that source code on the remote repository. So as and when we get the fresh code from the remote to the remote repository, automatically build will be triggered on the basis of certain condition, and that can be done only via Jenkins. Okay, so this build can be triggered, and then we can just quickly build it, run some test cases, and that will really help us to understand is there any problem in the new feature, or is that new feature is breaking some other functionality or not. So all these tests by default test cases needs to be tested. Earlier, before Jenkins, what we are doing is we are doing all this sort of task manually, but with the invention of this Jenkins and all this CI/CD pipeline, this is really taking the development or the time to market. It's really getting reduced. So that is the reason nowadays this continuous integration and continuous deployment is very much popular. So again it's showing more than 40 seconds because it's still downloading, and it's just 24% is over. So looks like it is going to take some more time. But yeah, already this 65 MB is done. So looks like now the next piece of software they are trying to download is around 271 MB, and which is a huge time. Okay, so installation is done. Okay, so let's go back to that page and see what all the next steps that we need to perform. Okay, so once that is done, we need to start this Jenkins. So let me go back and start it. I'll start it on the command prompt. It's asking for, so let's wait for it to start. And now see the status. Okay, status, let me show that status. You can see that active and it's exited state. Why it is exited? Do we see any error? Okay, so by default it runs on 8080. So without opening all this port and all, so let me try to do it. So how we can do this? It's by default runs on 8080 port, so we can access directly from here. Okay, so let me do this. Instead of this, let me put the localhost. Okay, so now you can see that it is accessible. Okay, so let's go back and see what all the next step that we need to perform is. So why these steps, opening firewall and all, why this is required? Because by default it's running on 8080 port, right? But this port is not allowed. Okay, it's not in fact open for external user to access. So to do that, so who is blocking this? So this port is blocked by firewall. Okay, now if you want that your Jenkins should be accessible outside the of your system as well, so in that case what you need to do is we need to open this port on the firewall as well. Okay, so that you can allow the connection on this port from the firewall. So for that we need to run this command, and then with the help of this ufw status command we can see that this port is open. Okay, so now if everything is fine, if the firewall is inactive, the following commands will make sure that OpenSSH is allowed and then enable it. Okay, so now if firewall is okay, then if you want to open SSH connection as well, for that as well you can allow and start it. Okay, so you can see that we have started this on the local host, and now it is asking for the admin password. Okay, so what is the admin password? In the terminal window you will use the cat command to display the password. Okay, so this password stores in varlib Jenkins secrets initial password. So what I need to do is I need to copy this path, go back to the command prompt and do this. Okay, so here is the password. So let me copy this, go back to the browser, put this password and try to log in it. So I'm doing it, don't save it. Okay, so now setup is done. What it is saying, plugin extend Jenkins with additional features to support many different needs. Okay, so install suggested plugin, select plugins to install. Okay, so these are the options that we have. So let's see what all we should. We'll copy the 32 character alphanumeric that we have done, stress to continue, and now the next screen present option installing suggested plugins or selected specific plugins. Okay, so we'll click on the install suggested plugins option, which will immediately begin the installation process. When the installation is complete, you will be prompted to set up the first administrative user. It's possible to skip and step the continue as an admin using the initial password we used above, but we will take a moment to create the user. Okay, so let's instead of installing all the default plugin, so here we have two options, either install suggested plugins or select plugins to install. Okay, so if you do install suggested plugin, it will install whatever the basic required plugins that we need to set up the Jenkins. Okay, and then if you choose the second option, in that case you need to understand all the plugins that needs to be there, and then you need to choose and start it. Okay, so so what we'll do for this case, I'll choose install suggested plugins. Okay, so now these are the suggested plugin. What all the suggested plugins, if you see, this workspace cleanup, GitHub Subversion, LDAP, Ant, Pipeline, SSH build agent, email extension, then Grandel, Pipeline, Stage View. So there are a lot of default plugins that we need to have. So that is the reason it is now installing one by one. So at the top side you can see the progress. Okay, so there are a lot of needs to be installed. So let's wait for a couple of more minutes to see what all things it is doing. So if you see this log as well, here you can see that build timeout, credential is binding, SSH credential, token macro, and here you can see this progress. Okay, so a lot of things are happening here in the background. So here it is marking like folders, timestamper, pipeline, git, PAM authentication. So let's wait for it to finish. So it's taking more time than expected, but yeah, we have to wait for it. We also need to have all these basic plugins, so that you can directly start using it. So if you see this Ant, Gradle, LDAP, for now we don't require it because it's specifically for the Java application we require. Okay, so if we are going to start with the Java application to deploy, in that case we definitely require to have this. But we are going to try this simple Python application. If you see right hand side, there are a lot of plugins are getting installed like Jackson, eCharts, JUnit, Command Agent Launcher, Resource Disposer, and okay, so here if you see, this workspace cleanup was not installed properly. It is facing some problem, but apart from that, Ant is successfully installed, jQuery is installed, JavaScript GUI is installed, Groovy SCM is installed. Here you can see that Mailer is also completed. Grandel is failing, some problem, it is not completed. So now it looks like the whatever the application we can see here is are getting installed. Now Grandel is still in progress. Now it's installing pipeline stage view. This pipeline stage view is done now. So what next we are getting now? So it's installing git client, git server. So most probably will get green for this git here now. Again this formatter is pending. It's taking time for this stage view because it has some other binaries needs to be installed along with this. So that is the reason it is taking more time than expected. Okay, so now it's starting a different libraries, multi-branch it is starting now. So here you can see that now git is complete, this pipeline failed, github branch source is complete, mailer is complete, this github groovy got failed. Now this SSH build agent is almost done, subversion is in progress, subversion is done now, SSH build agent is done. So this matrix authorization is done. What else pending now? PAM authentication is done. So only I think LDAP and email extensions are pending. So that also will finish in 1 minute. Yeah, that is done now. So most probably we'll get now. LDAP is almost done. Email extension is pending, and then this formatter. Okay, so looks like there are fewer failures, but that's fine. We'll install it later. So let me do continue. Okay, so now create first admin user. We can definitely skip and continue as admin, or if you want to create, we can create, but let's go with the admin. So instance configuration Jenkins, this is the Jenkins URL, and now it is saying save and finish. So let me do this. Here skip the setup of an admin user. To log in, use this admin and add the administrative password. Okay, so to log in now, every time we need to use that the MD5 string that we got from the var lib. Okay, so this is the how you see once this Jenkins is installed. Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do is, if you want to configure lot of things, we can definitely do this, but right now what we have to do want to do is we want to create a job. Okay, so let me go to the home first. Let me create a job. So I want to create a job, build job I want to create. Okay, so for what is the purpose of this job is to, I want to build a Java application. Okay, so let's start. So it's a freestyle project. Let me create. Okay, so it's creating this project. So what all the things I need to do here? Okay, so the first thing, I need to have the description about it. It is asking whether we should discard old builds or not, that we can select. Then the GitHub project that we can provide. Okay, then source code management. What is the source code management that you do? So in case we use Git, okay, then your repository, okay, from where this code needs to be taken. Okay, so right now our repository is not set, so that is the reason we are not providing here. Okay, so we can provide the all the credentials and all we can give it. Okay, so once the repository is given, now when this build needs to be triggered. Okay, so when this build needs to be triggered, there are a lot of options. We can manually trigger build remotely, or build after other projects are built, means depending on one project to another. Then build periodically. Okay, so this is possible, like if you select periodically means every maybe around say let's say up every day at 7 p.m. I need to build it. Okay, so that is also possible. Or if you want to add some GitHub hook, so that is also possible. Accordingly it will start building. Now build environment. We need to provide the build environment. Okay, if you have a Java application, we need to give the Java plugins which are used to build it, like Maven, Ant. Okay, if you are using Python, then some Python plugins to build it. If you are using Golang application, then Golang binaries to build it. Then once build is done, after post build, what all the actions you need to perform. Okay, and then you can save it and apply it. Okay, so when you apply it, it will start your job. Okay, so it depends on what is the schedule you have chosen, what is the source management you have given, when this build needs to be triggered, what is the build environment. Okay, and then how it should be started. Okay, and is there any post build action is there. So there are a lot of things to be done. So in this particular video, that's it, because in the next video we are going to try with some proper application. So in this video I want to show you how we can wanted to show you that how we can install the Jenkins, how we can start, and what is job. Okay, so what all these are the steps that we want to cover. So that's it in this video. We'll see in the next video how we can create a job for any Python or Java application. Okay, that's it. Thank you.